We're continuing Saw Month with a look at 2005's Saw 2, the sequel to 2004's Saw. Saw 2 kicks off with Michael, a police informant in the Venus flytrap. He is told that he has a minute to escape from the trap. A few hours prior to waking up, Jigsaw had placed the key to the trap behind Michael's eye and provides Michael with a scalpel to cut his eye out and retrieve the key. Understandably, Michael struggles as he looks into the mirror and places the scalpel in front of his eye. Ultimately, he decides he can't do it, and in Saw's fantastic handwork of censoring and capturing the moment, the internal struggle looks fantastic, and Michael is ultimately killed by the trap. We're introduced to a few new characters in this film. The main character besides Jigsaw himself is Detective Eric Matthews, played by Donnie Wahlberg. His son Daniel is arrested again for stealing. After following clues laid out for him by Jigsaw, Matthews and his police unit swarm a warehouse, Jigsaw's lair. There, they discover that Jigsaw has placed several people in an unknown location, one of the people being Eric's son, Daniel. Eric is told that if he just sits down and talks with Jigsaw for long enough, he'll be reunited with his son, who he is told is in a safe place. We're taken to the unknown location where several people are held. They're told via cassette tape that the building they're in has poisonous gas pouring in from the vents, and that if they don't get an antidote, they'll die before the doors open in a few hours. The people are Xavier, Obi, Daniel, Jonas, Addison, Gus, Laura, and Amanda from the first film. Within seconds, Gus is killed by one of the many traps in the film, the Magnum trap. The list left only 7 people out of the original 8. As time goes on, the people in the house show the deadly effects the gas is having on them by constantly coughing up blood and getting weaker by the minute. Interestingly enough though, out of the 6 people that die in the house, only one of them dies from the gas, that being Laura. The rest are either killed by the others or by the traps. Saw 2 took a risk of differentiating from the setup of the first film by pitting several people in a house with an objective, but I think it worked out. It's my second favorite film of the franchise. In the end, Eric can't take anymore and beats the ever-living fuck out of Jigsaw until Jigsaw agrees to take him to the house. It's there that Jigsaw references horror legend Wes Craven's film The Last House on the Left. While Eric is talking with Jigsaw, Detective Carey and Sergeant Rake are tracking down the location of what they believe is the house with everybody in it. However, when the cops get to the house, they find a bank of VCR players playing the images they saw in Jigsaw's warehouse. They then realize that what was happening on the screens was not live, and it had occurred sometime before they swarmed the house. Matthews, however, is in the real house, and he travels into the Saw bathroom where Xavier's corpse is still lying. Matthews is stabbed with a needle and passes out. In the meantime, a countdown clock that was going on in Jigsaw's warehouse ends. A safe opens up and Daniel is inside, hyperventilating into an oxygen mask, revealing that Jigsaw was right when he said Daniel was in a safe place. Clever, huh? Matthews then suffers a similar fate that Adam suffered. He's chained to a pipe and Amanda, Jigsaw's new apprentice, slams the door on him, leaving a big grin on the beaten-down face of Jigsaw. I like the idea of having the numbers to the safe in the main room of the Saw house being on the back of their necks, and how Jigsaw said, "Think hard, the numbers are in the back of your minds." Very, very clever wording. The Venus flytrap really worked in that it really opened and closed, and the nails inside of it were made out of rubber, so they were harmless. The needle pit that Xavier dumped Amanda into took about a week to construct. They ended up having needles with harmless points in the pit. There was about 125,000 needles, which wasn't enough to fill the pit, so they ended up putting a bunch of rubber at the bottom of the pit to help fill it up. I also loved how they revisited the Saw bathroom for the first film. If it was up to me, the Saw bathroom would appear in some fashion in every Saw film. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for both Saw 3 and 4 as we continue Saw Month 2009.